2 o'clock Tuesday morning. I'm wide awake thanks to my logistics crew. Thank you, darling. And today's the day that I have to do something about my visa to carry on living here in Indonesia, because you can only stay here for 30 days as a stretch on a tourist visa. The way out of that is to leave Indonesia, fly to a different country, and then fly back into Indonesia again, whereupon you will be given a shiny new stamp in your passport that says you can exist here for another 30 days. So I'm going to go from here, Bandung, to Jakarta, fly from Jakarta to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, then hang around there for a bit, then fly back from Kuala Lumpur to Jakarta, and then from Jakarta back to here in Bandung, whereupon I will be picked up by my lovely wife on her motorbike, and she will drive me home and put me to bed. So all I have to do to extend my visa is fly out of the country and fly back again. Simple. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, I know you can hardly see me, but it's 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm on the first leg of my so-called visa run. So that means I have to leave Indonesia because of immigration laws. I can only stay in Indonesia on my current visa for 30 days. After 30 days, what I have to do is leave the country. The nearest country will do. Today I'm going to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. It's a 2.25 hour flight. But now I'm on the bus. We're just about to get on the motorway out of Bandung. I've been on this bus now for best part of 2 hours, the last hour of which has been spent in stop-start traffic on the motorway, mostly stop. So 2 hours in, I've got to be at the airport in 4 hours, which is a total of 6 hours. Now I know from bitter experience that this trip can take 7.5 hours. It all depends on when we hit the rush hour coming into Jakarta. Now, that can be, at the best of times, laborious. Rush hour, I don't know. I just don't know. Right. 4 hours to go. I have to be at Jakarta Airport to check in for the plane to Kuala Lumpur. Let's see.
Okay, well it's now 7:35 and I can't get any sat-nav on my phone because there's no internet connection. This bus is supposed to have Wi-Fi, but it doesn't, it's not working, I can't find it. Traffic's moving a bit better. Jakarta on the signpost, still not quite at the top of the list, but we're doing about, I don't know, 60 kilometers an hour in free moving traffic. And what I have found about this bus, which is incredibly welcome after now more than 2.5 hours on it, is the back of the bus, which allows me to do this. Oh God, that's good. Now, what I've also found at the back of the bus is this. Now, you've been on holiday to France and Spain, and you might have found that the facilities were, you know, maybe slightly lacking, not what you're used to in your British and American standards. Well, Indonesian toilets take it to a new level. Indonesian toilets are characterised by their distinct lack of lavatory paper, for a start. Now, Indonesian toilets are pretty poor by Western standards. Now, I'm reasonably prepared to bet that an Indonesian toilet at the back of an Indonesian bus is going to be something else. I'm going in. John! It turns out I was not wrong. Here is your actual car seat, no toilet seat of course. I'm glad I went properly before I left this morning. No, absolutely no toilet paper at all. You can wash your hands if you want, but what do you do if you need a poo and there's no toilet paper? Well, this is for washing your backside. So you get off there and you give yourself a wash. There's nothing to dry yourself on. So yeah, can I do Clarkson for a bit? Yeah. This is an Indonesian toilet, and it is probably the worst toilet in the world.
Oh god, that car seat. That scene out of Train Spotting. That was nothing compared to that.
Well, I think we're getting a little bit closer to Jakarta. It's difficult to tell. Even at 8 o'clock in the morning, the smog, you can hardly see across the place. It's really terrible. Something's got to be done about this. I can't see the buildings.
Well, it's just gone 8:30, and the very polite and nice conductor of the bus has come up to me and spoken to me personally in English to say that we are now approaching Terminal 3 at Jakarta Airport. So, yes, I will take all my personal belongings with me. Thank you very much, and terima kasih. Well, I have to say that wasn't actually too bad at all. I was on the bus for just over 4 3/4 hours, but it wasn't so bad. It was air conditioned, it had a smoking area, had a very nice pleasant conductor, and it got me here, well, with plenty of time to spare. I can see my flight on the board here, standing here in the tropical heat. Could do with a beer actually, but we're still in Indonesia, so there's no chance of that. Right, see you in a bit. Smoking room at Jakarta Airport. I'm so pleased I do this to myself. Look at the state of it. I just told you, the main thing that you mustn't do with politics is listen to people. Oh, hello. Well, I've made it to Kuala Lumpur Airport, and it looks like every other airport that I've ever been to in the world. Possible exceptions. Full of shops, people milling about, and I've got 5 hours to kill here now. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do that by staying in the airport. Thankfully, there is an express service into the city centre. I've never been to Kuala Lumpur before, so let's see what happens. One thing I mustn't forget is the only reason I'm here in the first place is to get back into Indonesia because of the visa regulations and immigration. So, well, see you in a bit, really. Cheers. Well, it turned out that the express train from Kuala Lumpur Airport into Kuala Lumpur city centre was prohibitively expensive. It was 100 ringgit return. So, probably against my better judgment, I've gone for yet another bus. made it off the bus to what seems to be Kuala Lumpur Central Station, but you come out of the Central Station and I've sort of lost Kuala Lumpur. All I've got is, well, 3 bloody great hotels and a bank. And I asked the doorman at the Hilton, yeah, how do I actually get into Kuala Lumpur? I want to see some stuff. I just want to go for a drink or something to eat. And he said, well, this is Kuala Lumpur. I can't believe that. Right. Shanks his pony for a bit. This is getting even more and more confusing. I'm in the station and I've asked a policeman and I've asked the information desk, right, how do you get into Kuala Lumpur from the station? The answer is, well, you're in Kuala Lumpur. Yeah, I know, but how do I get out of the station and into Kuala Lumpur so I can see some streets and maybe some restaurants and bars and stuff? And the best answer I've got so far is to go up, down and out. So, well, give it a go. Running short of time. 4 Fingers crispy chicken. I know where I can get crispy chicken, all right. Oh, what? I don't want bloody Burtons and Dorothy bloody Perkins. Okay, I finally made it out of that god-awful station and shopping complex. My God, what a nightmare. And now I found myself, well, in downtown Kuala Lumpur in a very convivial American bar. It's just normal. I just wanted a little bit of normality. And I certainly wanted a little bit of this. Oh, ice cold pint of Carlsberg. And it is so hot outside. You can't believe how hot it is. These fans, well, they're doing their best, but my God, I am sweating like a sweaty pig. Well, somebody's going to start playing the guitar. Oh God. Anyway, there's a really nice Indian restaurant next door as well, but I think that could be fatal. I've been on the go now for 20 hours, non-stop. Some of it in the air, most of it on bloody buses. And I think the thing to do now, if I'm sensible, is to go back into the shopping centre, have another one of these, go back into the shopping centre, and I think the thing to do is to have a McDonald's actually. Sugar, carbohydrate, fat, that'll keep me going until I get back to the airport, which is another consideration actually. How do I get back to... Right, I'm going to have to find where I left the bus. Right, there is no way on earth that you would know that this leads you down to the bus station. Not unless you knew. And the only reason I know is that's the way I came out. Are you actually old enough to drive, mate? Okay then, back at Kuala Lumpur Airport, everything's going like clockwork. It's now 8:30 in the evening. I've got an hour to get something to eat, boarding at 9:30. Yes, I'm getting a little bit tired. Okay, last flight of the day. It's an hour late. Hope I make my bus for the very last leg. Hope I get back into Indonesia. Not sure yet.
Well, that's the tough bit over with. I've got back through immigration. I am back into Indonesia, no problem. Just asked me what I was doing here, said I was visiting somebody, said fine. Plane was late, but so's the bus, and the bus is still being late. The bus is in fact an hour late, and I am getting very tired. This is 24 hours now with not really stopping and certainly no sleep at all. So one bus, one moped to go.